Okay, so back to the other thing that pissed me off today about how that fucker was because I was standing there with my laptop. He decides to come up to me and say, like, he doesn't know me. He's a stranger. Why do you go up to a stranger and say something smartassy and walk off? What the hell? Why are you being a jerk to me? I don't even fucking know you. So he sees me standing there with my laptop, and he tells me, there are these things called tables. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, wow. Thanks for the information there. That there are these things called tables. I didn't know that. You really had to tell me that. Yeah, very funny. There are these things called tables. Okay. So I was thinking how some people might, after hearing the way I reacted to it, they might respond. Especially this fucker. They might say, uh, "Can you take a joke?" Or um, that I take things too seriously or to lighten up. So when thinking of that, thinking that some people might react that way, like, "Can't you take a joke?" or to say that I should lighten up. That reminded me of something that happened uh, over a year ago. Well, no, it actually was about a year ago, so maybe not over a year ago. It was pretty much a year ago from yeah, it was May of last year, I think. Um, so this might be a long story here. Lighten up. Yeah, okay. Um, so there's a few different things I can talk about with this. Um, where to begin? Okay, well, in general, I'm the type of person when the friends. Oh, there's another thing I could talk about. There's a few tangents I can go off to on this. Just talking about my the past and interactions I've had with people. Okay, so the friends that I've had in the past, uh, it was like it was kind of like an unspoken thing. I think. Um, maybe it's like a thing where a group of people maybe I know I'm just reading into it, like thinking of it in my own subjective way, but like uh, that a group of people that maybe don't appreciate when other people pick on them, uh, because at least one of my friends, I'm pretty sure, had some experience with being picked on, and I think another one of my friends. But like, I'm a sensitive person, and I don't like being picked on. What I perceive to be as picked on. So one of those things would be like name calling. And for the most part, the friends that I was around, the friends that I had, there was no there was no name calling. So that was kind of like an unspoken thing. There was never any kind of rules set down in these friendships. No one ever sat down and said, "Okay, I'm going to be friends with you, but make sure to not call me any names because I don't like that." That was never discussed. It was just that's the way it was. Nobody ever was like the friends that I had. We didn't like call each other names because we were nice to each other. Although I'm pretty sure there was some like making fun of the other friend behind their back. Pretty sure that was going on. Uh, like joking about them behind their back. I was even doing it myself a little bit, which then I kind of felt I didn't feel good about it. But then it maybe partly because I was thinking they're doing this to me, aren't they? They're making fun of me behind my back because it was like 3 or 4 friends in the group that I had. So I'm definitely there was some of that going on, but it like the face to face stuff. There wasn't a lot of whole picking on like name calling face to face. So I guess well it's better. At least there was some consideration about face to face stuff. So it's probably like a not wanting to have conflict, face to face conflict. So if you're going to say something about somebody, don't say it to their face. I guess due to some level of respect, it's still not nice to say. It's still not very respectful to say something behind someone's back, but to say it to their face, I guess it's like there might be some stress involved with the conflict if you're gonna like do the name calling to their face is what possibly might some people think. Uh, and maybe there's some thinking of, well, if I call this person a name to their face, that would make them feel bad, or if I give them a hard time or pick on them or whatever, that and so that's my idea of friendship, to not call them a name that might be thought of as picking on in any way, really, because my thinking is if so sure, I may have called people names, uh, not to their faces though. Like there were like in school, like there were like there's your friends, and then there's the other people that aren't your friends, which you may call them names, but not to their face, because not to bully them. But but that's not how some people's friendships are, which I can't really relate to because I feel like, why are you friends with someone if you're calling them names? So it's like, oh, like what kind of perspective you have and what your experiences have been. I suppose it's like what what you what experiences were what people like if other people called you names and then you just kind of like it's like a vicious circle. Like if other people called you names but you still want to be friends with them, so you're going to call them names back. And so I didn't have that. Like if someone called me a name that made me feel bad, I wouldn't be friends with them. So I don't like when when I'm called names at all. Like that are names that are typically used to pick on someone. I don't enjoy being picked on. I don't find that fun. So I would think that anyone who, like, when they were growing up, like in school, if they were picked on, and if they didn't like being picked on, like with names being called, derogatory names, uh, they would relate to that and then not want to make someone, so they would feel bad if someone was like picking on them by calling them names. So then they would feel bad about that. So then they would probably not want to make someone else feel bad unless they're just a jerk and they want to like think, I was picked on, so I'm gonna pick on you too. I guess that's what some people probably do. But there's apparently there's a lot of people out there that in their friendships they give them a hard time. Why is that a fun thing to do? If this is your friend, why are you calling them a name, a derogatory name, if they're your friend? How are they your friend if you're picking on them? So that's my thinking. I don't want to be friends with someone if they're gonna pick on me. So I was hanging around with this one girl from well, I guess we call her a woman. She was in her 30s, so let's call her a woman. She wasn't a girl. Okay, so I was hanging around with this woman from we were communicating on Facebook, and then like I used to go to school with her a long time ago, but I didn't really know her that well. But I decided to hang out with her to see if it would lead anywhere. But we were friends hanging out in real life. So we were friends on Facebook, but then we hung out a few times in real life. So she came to my apartment a few times. Um, we watched a movie, Black Hawk Down, that I got from the library, and she borrowed the second season of Dexter from a friend, and she let me borrow it. So we were watching Dexter. And one thing that irritated me though was we were watching Dexter, and she told me something that where one of the major characters had died, but when in the season that we were watching, that major character hadn't died yet and wasn't going to die for like a couple seasons. So she like while we were watching the second season, she said, "Oh, did this character die yet?" So I'm like, "What?" And then she said, "Oh, spoilers!" After she already ruined, like, now at that point on, I was like, from that point on, I was thinking, "Oh yeah, that person ruined it for me, so I know that this character is going to die at some point." So the reveal of when that character died, it was already ruined for me because this person uh, said it was going to happen, and they said spoilers after they ruined it for me. So the spoilers, aren't you supposed to say spoilers before you ruin something in a show or a movie, so that that person can be like, "Oh, spoilers? Oh, okay, then don't tell me." So this person ruined that for me from for Dexter. Okay, so this woman that I was hanging out with. We also went to a movie in the theater. I think Harold and Kumar something. I think 3D something. It was 3D. Uh, oh, which is kind of messed up. We were in the theater, and I was just kind of like my leg was kind of bumping against hers a little bit, but in a nice way. I was trying to like. Uh, it was kind of like a version of like leaning over and touching hands, holding hands, that kind of moment, or like putting your arm around your date kind of thing. But I was just kind of like my knee was kind of gently touching next to her knee. But for some reason, she decided to just bang her knee back really hard against my knee, and it hurt. And I'm thinking, what the fuck is she doing? Why is she banging her knee against my knee? That hurt. So I thought she was a little weird to do that.